All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grand Finals of BSL Season 7. I'm Rapid here with Nyokin. Of course, Zero behind the scenes and a whole bunch of awesome people in chat. You guys have been watching all season long. At least you should have. And it's all come down to this, a best of 5 for the lion's share of a $1,000 prize pool sponsored by Blizzard. And, of course, the title of champion of BSL Season 7. Nyokin, what's going to happen?
Well, I have no idea because trutaCz is a boss. eOnzErG also a boss. You know, I'm rooting for both sides kind of because I want to see eOnzErG get redemption, but I also want to see trutaCz win because I think he would be the first person to win back-to-back in BSL. I know in the early phases of BSL was just Polish players, right? But now that it's gone global, I don't think any single person has done that just yet.
Well, here's the thing, is that before it was global, it was only Polish players. And trutaCz won it back-to-back, Season 1 and Season 2. Also, defeating Zero in the Grand Finals. So, nice try, Zero, making your own tournament so you can win your own prize pool. I see what you're doing there. But for trutaCz, he was very dominant. And then we opened it up to non-Polish players. And what do you know? One tiny Russian boy slides in there. DeWalt was the Season 3 champion. And then Dandy, actually, Season 4 champion, eOnzErG Season 5 champion, the trutaCz Season 6. So really, eOnzErG and trutaCz are the two most recent BSL champions. They're here in the finals. It's almost impossible to predict because not only are they both incredibly good players, they're also the two best non-Korean Zerg players. And I would say their best matchups are CVC. So, I mean, it's so impossible to predict the outcome. I'm just hoping we go all the way to 7 games. And, you know, a lot of times, anytime you have great players playing each other, you hope that the games are really good. But I actually hope that the games are really bad. I would just want these guys to kill each other. I don't want it to be close. I want Zerglings on drones all the time. I don't want any economy. I just want mass murder for our enjoyment. I'm the Caesar watching the tiny people fight in the Coliseum. I just want crazy aggression, and I know both of these players can really deliver on that. I think either way, no matter who wins, it's going to be an amazing finals.
Yeah, and eOnzErG, you know, we interviewed him last week. What makes his Zerg versus Zerg so good? And he said it's because he's aggressive in all of his matchups. And then he also pointed out that in the past he looked up to trutaCz for ZVZ. So really, this is just going to be an amazing series. In all the games I've seen between trutaCz and eOnzErG, it could have gone either way. They're like so close. It's like who got a more favorable backstab, who got a more favorable trade with the mutas. So really, I don't know who's going to take this series, but what I am excited for is it's best of 7. There's no bans, and we're starting it off right. We're starting off on Oxide.
Yeah, so Oxide, how do you even play on this map? I think some players are figuring it out. There's also a few good cheese opportunities here, but it's a 2-player map, and then ZVZ, that means you click on the other corner of the map. So, ZVZ is a matchup that also kind of bypasses a lot of map-specific nuances, because like I said, you just go kill the guy. But there are some that might make a difference here. Either way, it's a very exciting map, and it's a perfect way to start off our best of 7 grand finals for BSL Season 7. So let's get into it. Game number 1 between eOnzErG and trutaCz on Oxide. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand finals of BSL Season 7. A truly bombastic best of 7 between this man in the upper left-hand corner of the map Oxide. In the blue, from Belgium, it's eOnzErG.
And in the bottom right, we've got the pink Polish Zerg. It is trutaCz. Yeah, so last time we saw trutaCz play ZVZ against Jaeyoon last week, actually was a bit worried for him because it really looked like Jaeyoon might take it. And the style we saw was Ling Scourge, and there were several moments where I thought for sure that trutaCz had done goofed, building too many Scourge when he needed Lings or Mutas. So I wonder if we're going to see that again. All the games I saw between eOnzErG and trutaCz were high Muta counts. So I don't know if trutaCz has changed his style recently or if it was Jaeyoon specific, but I am interested to see specifically what's his reaction going to be versus eOnzErG.
Now, I was talking to Artosis, and he had to play. He was in a group with eOnzErG at the Corrupted Cup, and I asked him, like, how do you prepare against eOnzErG? The first thing he did is he subscribed to eOnzErG's Twitch channel because that's how you get access to his VODs. And so I'm sure that at the very least, eOnzErG got another subscriber because trutaCz has got to check out this greatness. But obviously, the most important thing to keep an eye on in ZVZ are the opening builds.
Yeah, and trutaCz is going to go for a 12 hatch. We saw him go for 12 hatch. I think it was on Powerbomb versus Jaeyoon. And we're going to see it again. And actually, eOnzErG is also going to go for the 12 hatch. Now, remember, it is a 2-player map, so both players are going to see the opening builds pretty quickly. But I am a little bit surprised that neither player is getting aggressive, and we are just going to follow up with standards pool. Now, will we see... Okay, there we go. Gas coming in immediately for eOnzErG and trutaCz. He is going to equal the gas.
Right, so pretty mirrored builds up until this point. This is actually so crazy how even it is. I'd say eOnzErG maybe a tiny bit faster with everything, just like the slightest little bit. But ZVZ is incredibly volatile, and sometimes those tiny little advantages do matter. But it is going to take a while before we really see hard advantages on either side.
Yeah, now since both players can scout each other, in the olden days when I played Zerg, you're just keeping track of the link count. If you can sneak in a hatchery, I mean, hatchery is a big spend for you, but we may see one of the players go for big macro style. It's even hard to believe I'm saying that in a ZVZ, but we saw Tai2 pull out macro style ZVZ. I wonder if either one of them will go into macro with evolution chambers, or are they just going to go into fast spire? So far, leads me to believe we're going to have the fast spire because of how fast the gas is, and we have lair from both sides.
Mm-hmm. One of the first BSL games I ever broadcast, I think way back in season 3, was a 3-hatch opener in ZVZ. And it was one of the stupidest things I've ever seen because obviously the guy just died because he had nothing. But obviously when you have both players opening 12-hatch, and obviously because it's ZVZ, you have overlords, and you can realize that, I mean, maybe this is just sort of this weird standoff where both players decide to have crazy macro, and we see the strangest ZVZ the world has ever seen.
Well, look at this. This is a subtle thing, but eOnzErG sees 4 lings, but we actually saw that 2 lings had split off through the top. So if he thinks it's only 4, he may underreact to 6 lings coming in, and we do see the first difference from both sides. It's eOnzErG that has gotten speed, no speed for trutaCz. So he's the one that wants to get away with a slight gas advantage. And this drone, okay, at the natural of trutaCz, I thought we were going to see a 3rd hatchery, but it ends up being a creep colony.
Okay, so this is really interesting. eOn's going for speed, but trutaCz is going for a sunken. And in theory, that might cancel each other out, but it is going to depend on how these speedlings are used. Because even if you have a superior muta count, which maybe that extra 100 gas would go into, your mutas can only defend or attack. And if they attack and you're not defending against a speedling run by, you're going to lose a lot.
Look at this potential ling counterattack from trutaCz. It's only 2, and it gets taken down immediately. And what does he have to defend? It's 1 sunken and 6 lings. This is definitely not enough to hold how much eOnzErG has.
Now he's pulling the drones. They've got to hold on here, but any drone losses are pretty catastrophic. The Zerglings from eOnzErG actually glitching out quite heavily. And in the end, trutaCz comes out several lings on top. However, he did lose a few, and in the end, instead of being like a 5 or 6 drone difference, it is only 2 or 3.
Well, it is a sizable drone count difference. Here comes eOnzErG again, and I love this evolution chamber semi-wall, and he does cancel it immediately.
Yeah.
It's a 5 drone advantage, and he's going to be able to put all 3 of his drones into gas at the natural. Meanwhile, there's 1 drone at the nat for eOnzErG. So unless he's building an extra drone there, which he is, over time, trutaCz is going to have a massive muta lead. And remember, he's the one that cut speed. So by default, he's always going to have at least 1 more muta.
Yeah, I mean, you can just do the math on that one. A lot of ZVZ can kind of come down to that math. It's like, well, do you have more or less of the mutalisk? You count them up, and you're like, okay, well, that guy wins. But it doesn't always make sense. For example, in the semifinals that we were watching, that ZVZ kind of didn't make sense because we were seeing some kind of strange Scourge versus muta numbers, and I wasn't totally sure about how to figure all of that out. Mutas are out. 3 Zerglings get by. Let's see if they can pick off a drone before they die. Yeah, gets one off of 3 Zerglings. So that's actually not bad. Nice snipe by eOnzErG.
Yeah, every drone is so important. eOnzErG definitely needs to get a couple more drone kills because he's still down 3 drones. It's funny because trutaCz could build an evolution chamber and build a spore colony in his main and natural and still be even on drones. That's how far ahead he is in terms of the drone count. And that would make any muta trade just be so punishing for eOnzErG if he ever tries to fight in either of those positions. Now, I am getting a look at how many mutas we have for trutaCz. He has 8 versus 7 of eOnzErG. This time we don't see the mass scourge like I was expecting to see, or was not expecting to see in the Jaeyoon series. He is going back to his tried and true mass muta style. And right now, it's eOnzErG that needs to get big scourge connections because he's down in the muta count.
Yeah, he does have 3 drones mining on gas, but he doesn't have those extra mineral drones, which is, I mean, that even though it might be a subtle difference, producing Zerglings when mutas are out is still really important because you have to fight mutas with mutas. So the Zerglings can kind of be free to go for little tiny run bys like the ones that Eon was looking for.
And I
Oh, sorry. What's going on?
I love trutaCz's position of these links. Look at his vision. He knows exactly where the mutas are. And it's actually very dangerous to move this far out with your mutas, especially when the opposing player sees you. trutaCz could have gone in for an instant backstab into the natural. Now, we see there's really no drones on the mineral lines, so it probably wouldn't have had much success. But that's something to look for. Anytime he sees eOnzErG out on the map, maybe he's just going to counterattack. But meanwhile, it's eOnzErG that's all the way across the map, and trutaCz is way out of position.
Oh god, this is terrible. There are some mutas and Scourge back at home, about 5 of them, but Eon's gonna hit first. He snipes 1 drone, he snipes 2, he might even go in for the next one, but he clones his Scourge beautifully off onto trutaCz's muta. He's gonna get so many good connections and come in and chase these mutas down. Look at the Scourge go from eOnzErG. They catch so many mutas, and he's actually just gonna choose to turn around and fight this straight up. The muta control, it's not actually perfect from trutaCz. He still takes more and more Scourge hits. We're looking at 7 versus 7. More Scourge coming in from Eon. They're going to connect here, and trutaCz is losing the muta count, but he's got a home field advantage, and more reinforcements will come through.
Yeah, and eOnzErG has 6 mutas versus 4. He can win this fight for sure. Does he know it, though? He's going to focus down another drone. More Scourge pop out, but he's got to look at the instant turnaround on the muta. Fantastic from eOnzErG, and all of a sudden, it's eOnzErG with the muta advantage. He's also evened up the drone count. Basically, it's 14 to 13. And one thing to note is trutaCz didn't have 3 on gas at his natural for a while.
Oh, Scourge connections coming in. I can't even tell what's happening, but I think it's safe to say Eon's still in a pretty strong position.
Yeah, he just wiped out almost all the mutas. There's 5 left for him. There's 4 for trutaCz. 1 is dangerously low. Maybe 1 hit will just take it out. And trutaCz needs to control his Scourge perfectly, but I don't think really any of them have hit. The muta control from eOnzErG is fantastic, and it's eOnzErG with supply lead now. It's 40 to 32.
Oh my god, and the superior muta count by far. 8 mutas, even though some are low. You just got to go for it at this point. This game is not going to last much longer. Let's see if trutaCz can turn it right back around. He does have a few Scourge out, but they're getting picked off. Perfect muta control here. eOnzErG smashing it off the comeback. He's going to take this game almost for sure. The muta count continues to fall for trutaCz, and he will tap out. GG, eOnzErG will take game number 1 in this Grand Finals best of 7 on Oxide.
Yeah, and this is exactly the reason I was looking forward to this series. Is I don't want to see 3 hatch. I don't want to see split map. We just sitting in our base. I want to see mutas in your face, Scourge in your face, and it's all going to come down to who's got the better muta control. Like, every time I see eOnzErG and trutaCz play mutas, it's just crazy how they just turn around and just get like a free Scourge, get a free hit onto a hatchery or something that like splashes and deals extra damage. But eOnzErG, he flat out outplayed trutaCz right there. So that was very impressive. And trutaCz has got to be careful because I like the mutas across the map when he had vision, but he let eOnzErG get all the way across the map into his natural. And that was really the game changer right there.
Oh my god. I don't if you guys have like sentient pets that also are interested in brood war, get them in here. Grandmothers, aunts twice removed. Like, I don't know, this is gonna be a mental series. Like, you know that Vince McMahon gif where he's just like, oh my god, this is so amazing, then he falls out of his That's what this series is going to be. So I can already tell. My prediction is that these games are going to be amazing. If that's only game number one, just imagine the greatness. Now, I will say that I think Eon is dialed in. His Muta Micro looked so sick. And even though trutaCz actually had a perfect defense, that really should show you kind of their stylistic advantages. And I can't wait to see what happens when we go from a tiny 2-player map like Oxide to a gigantic 4-player map like Gladiator, because it's going to be totally different. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. So I'm ready to get into this. I want to see who's going to go up. Is it going to be eOnzErG 2-0 or will trutaCz even at 1-1?
Okay, here we are. Game number 2 of the BSL Season 7 Grand Finals. In the upper left-hand corner of the map, Gladiator, appropriately named, is our Belgian Zerg player, eOnzErG.
And in the bottom left, repping the pink again, it is trutaCz. And in that big fight we saw, or the multiple big fights we saw, eOnzErG got connections on his Scourge. And for you to control mutas is hard enough, but for you to control mutas while also controlling Scourge is crazy, because you know there's the potential for your Scourge, you like send 4 of them and they blow up on one Scourge. But eOnzErG wasn't doing that. He connected like 6 Scourges on the mutas. Absolutely insane. That was so impressive from him. And in this game, we have both players. They're going to get off a first scout. Again, I wonder if we're going to see 12 hatch from both of these players.
Dude, I hope so. That was honestly the most exciting, least exciting thing about that last game, because we actually just got to see a straight up, not macro, but just both players getting basically the best start you can hope for, which prepared them for a really, really cool opener. And eOnzErG chose to play it aggressively, and it didn't work out. And so he was actually pretty far behind. And then he catches trutaCz with his mutas out on the map, gets in, deals critical damage, and never lets up the pressure. So I love it. Different styles. And this time around, even though it's a bigger map, they're both going to scout each other first, and they're close by air.
Yeah, and then we're going to see a 9 pull from eOnzErG, followed up by Gas. Meanwhile, this was... it was an overpull from trutaCz technically, but he did take his gas before the pull. So you can tell that just like in the Jaeyoon series, it's trutaCz that wants to have the air advantage. He's going to have an extra amount of gas compared to eOnzErG. Likely it's going to be eOnzErG that gets speed first. We have to wait and see if it is actually going to be speed first or lair. But you can definitely see the plan from trutaCz. He's content with skipping speed, go for a more mid-game play, I guess. Actually, it is lair from eOnzErG.
Ooh, okay, so Eon is just getting the fastest mutas. So I'm really excited for this, because I think, especially when you saw those Scourge clones, it's called cloning because you want to take 2 Scourge and put them on 1 muta and then 2 other Scourge, and you click on another muta. But it's incredibly micro intensive, and in the heat of the moment, when you're trying to micro mutas, ain't nobody got time to micro that. But somehow Eon finds the milliseconds, and cloning makes all the difference in muta versus muta battle when Scourge are involved. It's so crazy. So I'm just super excited to see what happens when Eon gets his best units as fast as possible.
So we really don't have that much of a gas. Oh, the Lings. Oh, I thought they were going to be hidden at the left side of the minerals. That would have been a catastrophe if those had snuck into the main. So that, this is trutaCz, man. Like, we've got an in-base hatch.
Oh, I don't know. I just want to make all of my surprise noises right now, because this is sick. This is something that Effort actually did in his semifinals against, was it Soulkey, ASL Season 5? I forget who it was. But he played a ZBZ, and the way that he won it, maybe it was Hero that he was playing. Yeah, I think so. He built in-base hatchery, and it actually worked out so well, because not only is it safe there, you can outling your opponent, and even if he builds mutas, you can still sometimes kill him right before it pops out. It's super sick timing, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. But he's also going to use it to out-muta his opponent, just larva-wise, which can be really cool. He's just got to mine gas as fast as he can.
Exactly. The power of this build is you have the extra larva. You have a very similar timing. Also, trutaCz has vision of what eOnzErG was going for. So he knows the Spire timing, and he can do exactly what you said. Spam out a lot of Lings, And then if eOnzErG builds mutas, there's a window where eOnzErG just flat out loses. So he's got to be very careful to balance his lane count. Spire's about to finish for eOnzErG, but we look at the lane count. It's 10 versus, I guess it's even for now, but trutaCz does have the potential to build more lings at any moment.
Yeah, exactly. And it's about when or where you get your lings into. trutaCz is actually going for speed. He actually does have a nice concave here, and neither player has speed, but now the concave is going to fold against him. So it's time to head out and actually almost double the lings left over for Eon.
Yeah, now speed is not being upgraded for eOnzErG, so he's actually going to be the one that has the extra muta count this time around. But one ling does get into the main for trutaCz. Can it get a kill? Oh, instantly taken down. Great.
That reaction, yeah, he's superhuman by eOnzErG. Takes out the ling. Now he has both players have an extra hatchery, but Eon's was slower and also more vulnerable. So let's see what happens, because Eon right now has faster mutas and superior Zergling count. So certainly seems to be in his favor. Let's see if trutaCz can hold on. Ling's getting in the middle line.
Yeah, right before the mutas pop out. Let's see how many drones these lings can take out. So far, none. Great control so far from trutaCz. And actually, because this hatchery was done faster for trutaCz, right now, he has more mutas. But if you factor in the travel distance, eOnzErG should be able to even up the muta count. And how many scourges? He's just going pure muta. Okay, now he has the scourge morphing at the natural. But trutaCz is already coming at him. He's got 5 mutas, 2 scourge, actually 6 mutas.
Oh, wow. Yeah, dude, travel time is the only thing. We've got maybe a few more Scourge for Eon, but this is going to be so close. It's 6 mutas, 2 Scourge versus, I think, 6 mutas, 2 Scourge. Yeah, and they're going to hit right now at the natural. They're siphoning off a couple of lings. That doesn't matter. What's going to matter is how well these Scourge do. He gets a glaive to bounce onto one of the Scourge, but now there's another set of Scourge popping out. It's time to see what this micro looks like. And he's sniping off Scourge, trying to get these hits onto the mutas. Oh my god, it's so scary. And he can't actually afford to target the Overlord. The glaive bounces are actually going to tank a little bit. And how good are the Scourge connections going to be? Chasing Eon's mutas back. They're taking the hits and they're not giving them back. This is huge for trutaCz. And I think he's actually going to come out on top here. Only 1 muta left for Eon, and trutaCz takes it out.
Oh my god, it's actually trutaCz with the crazy Scourge muta control. And it was so close. They had even amounts of units, so just a pure micro outplay from trutaCz. And we got a series on our hand, Rapid. Like, this micro is insane. Like, I haven't seen any foreigner have better muta micro than this. It is crazy.
Oh, yeah, dude. We're going to find out, you know, how when Obi-Wan, or is it Obi-Wan? Yeah, that senses the destruction of Alderaan because so many people cry out at once and are suddenly silenced. We're about to sense what happens when everyone watching simultaneously PogChamps at the same time. It's going to be amazing, and I'll also be able to sense that through the force that is StarCraft. So let's get into our next game, because I can't wait. I need a constant stream of these best of 7 games injected directly into my eyeballs. Like, this is so sick. I can't imagine this. It's back and forth. Both like, I can't even describe. It's so good. Talk while I get into this game, Nyokin.
Yeah, like ZVZ between these two players. This is honestly the matchup I look forward to the most. And I'm not even a Zerg player. Like, in the foreign scene, this is what I always want to see because of how like absurd it is. This isn't something where I look at it and it's like, oh, well, I can do that. This is something I look at and I'm like, there's no way I can do it. This is why I changed from Zerg. You can't do this. Like, it's incredible. I'm always so impressed by it.
God, that's what I love about StarCraft so much. Is like, technically anybody can do the same thing as anybody else, but these players are so good, you can't do what they do.
No, you can't.
It's so sick. Anyway, all right. Game number 3 is going to be on Neo Sylphid. I can't wait to get into this. So without further ado, let's do it. This is our 3rd game. It's tied up at 1-1. eOnzErG versus trutaCz for a slight advantage in this best of 7. All right, here we go. Welcome to game number 3 of the BSL7 Grand Finals. In the 12 o'clock location in red, from Poland, it's trutaCz.
And in the bottom left has the blue Zerg. It is eOnzErG. Yeah, man, like Sure, like Flash makes VODs, and it's like, oh, he just goes 2-1. Like, these are copyable builds. Of course, you can't execute it like him, but like the Muta Micro is just crazy. Like, I don't even know where to start. How do you ever get that good at Muta Micro? It's just ridiculous. And this is just a culmination of years upon years upon years of practicing this type of play. It's ridiculous. And I don't know, this is such a close series. Someone in the chat said trutaCz he's got the power of pink going for him. Remember in the first series, Bonneth repping the pink just dismantled Jaeyoon. And yeah, he looked pretty strong in the last game, but you see eOnzErG actually changed his color too. It's not exactly pink, but we're getting closer to it. So maybe he's got the power of pink flowing through him also.
So I change this faster than any other color has ever been changed before, because it's pink versus literally exactly pink. Like, some people, like, Nyokin's gonna lie to you and say it's a different color. Don't believe him. It's actually exactly the same color. So thankfully we've got red versus blue. Oh my God. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on here. We had 12 hatches in the first game for the most epic macro opening, and then in game number 2 we had a super fast layer from eOnzErG, and trutaCz went, or no, from eOnzErG, and trutaCz went for the in-base hatch. Let's see if he tries that again, because the spawn locations are slightly closer on Silphid.
You know, this time we actually see another aggressive build from eOnzErG. I think this was an overpull. No, actually, it was another 9 pull from eOnzErG. Meanwhile, trutaCz, this to me looks like another overpull. So a bit of a difference there. And actually, eOnzErG is the one with a massive gas advantage. He's up already 120 gas. That's a huge advantage for him. Layer's already starting. Meanwhile, we just started mining gas from trutaCz's side. So there's a big window of opportunity for trutaCz to get some Ling damage in, but also a big window of opportunity where if we go straight mutas, he's going to have air superiority.
Man, trutaCz was spamming that Z key. He had 3 larvae waiting, 400 minerals, and was just waiting for the completion of that spawning pool. So he did get the Lings out. They're popping right now, but he's got to get into position before these Lings from Eon hit. And I think he'll be okay, because it is 6-on-6, but you take one bag fight and you get down a Ling or something like that, ooh, it's not going to be fun. So the hatchery is starting to take quite a bit of damage from these 6 Lings. A couple drones come out to help fight. There are a couple more Lings on the way from eOnzErG, but trutaCz looks like he's going to be able to hold.
Yeah, he's going to hold for now. He, again, is not getting speed. This time, eOnzErG is rushing speed. So if there's any point where eOnzErG is slightly out of position, we're going to see even just 2 or so Lings run into the main, try and wipe out as many drones as he can. So trutaCz has to be very careful microing his Lings. But actually, eOnzErG is going to turn around. He's going to put up his Spire, and I guess he's turning around because he doesn't know exactly what trutaCz is doing. He doesn't have vision into the main. For all he knows, this could just be mass Lings with matching speed.
Yeah, and then if you get caught out on the map, and especially if trutaCz, actually his speed wouldn't finish first. Never mind. So. Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested why Eon pulled back, because technically he would have the faster Lings faster, so he'd always be able to run away. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just safety, because the most important thing for Eon is the fastest mute as possible.
Well, he's doing exactly what you should do. He's got concave of Lings at his entrance. He's also split off 2 Lings, and they're out of vision of this Overlord. So again, trutaCz is going to have to be aware of any potential counterattack. Now, is there a Spire anywhere? It is about to go down for trutaCz. It looks like he doesn't know exactly what he wants to do, because he pulled that drone off, looked like he wanted to build a Spire, but then he didn't have the money. And now he's decided that he's going to build an evolution chamber, and he's actually going to get super aggressive with these Lings.
I really like this. There's quite a few Lings. Eon's got like shark teeth layers of Lings at his opening, so he should be pretty airtight against this. But man, Lings find a way, to quote Ian Malcolm. So you gotta watch out if your Ling's on the edge. But look at Eon. What? He's pulling these teeth, or the Zerglings, into position perfectly, instantly, and now he's the one with not only a gigantic Zergling advantage, but somehow he's also going to have the Muta advantage too. Man, Eon is killing it here. But if these Lings bust through, that's when things get dicey.
Yeah, well, even Ling count right now, I think eOnzErG is going to hold it, but trutaCz does manage to sneak a couple by, but they're extremely low. Probably just get one-shotted by these mutas, and they are going to fall. Perfect defense from eOnzErG. You can see how powerful that concave is. At the initial fight, it was like trutaCz lost like 5 links for 1 link of eOnzErG. It's crazy how cost efficient that was. But trutaCz has gotten up his own spores at his natural, but look at how exposed the mineral line is. All this does is save him from a potential mass muta attack that we saw Jaeyoon go for, but I don't think that's what eOnzErG is setting up for. He doesn't flat out have the larva.
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason that you go for this more macro-oriented, spore build from trutaCz is so that you can just flood them with lings. But Eon was so airtight against that. Fox gave it a 9.5 out of 10. I'm just like, okay, well, technically nothing could be perfect, so I'm glad you realized that. But it was basically perfect, pulled by Eon, and now he's got mutas, he's got the proactive, the initiative out on the map.
Yeah, he's got initiative out on the map. He does, great defense at the entrance again. 3 lings, 1 drone, 1 muta. Going to shut down these lings pretty easily. The splash damage is even going to add up quite a bit. Now, you definitely don't want to lose that drone. Okay, he loses a drone, but I don't think that's a huge deal. But these lings do go across the map again. Luckily, they get scouted by an overlord, so I don't think eOnzErG should take much damage, but he needs to start thinking about taking his natural.
Yeah, I mean, you have to reach parity eventually. Otherwise, you just lose a slow and painful death here. Trying to get in to get more drones. He does get one. Wow, Eon's only on 9 drones to 17 right now.
Yeah, 17 drones for trutaCz. And because he sent those lings out, it's bought him time to get up a spore at his natural to defend the mineral line. But again, this is Sylphid. There's so many angles for the mutas to come in. Even the main isn't defended at this point. The bottom 3 mineral patches are exposed to mutas. The mutas at the natural are actually going to get some drone kills here. He may actually even kill the spore. It's not going to complete.
Wow, it's actually out of range. This is so beautiful. Eon finding exactly the pain points that he needed. The spore finishes and pops instantly because it loses that 100 HP. So, ooh, this is scary because now it all comes down to the actual mutas. Oh my god, he's just diving on the spore, taking out drones, microing him down, but he's still down 2.
Now, he does lose 1 muta there, but he killed so many drones. And he doesn't know about this ling counterattack because trutaCz built all of his lings at the natural, a genius move, and he's going in for another backstab. But eOnzErG, he's already got lings in position, extra mutas also at the main. He's just going to hold this so easily.
Ooh, yeah, Eon really equalizing the game with that, by taking out that mineral line. And now that he's able to clean up the ling counterattack, he's going to have a natural expansion of his own. But hey, trutaCz is actually going to be able to build mutas here pretty soon. And he did rebuild a bunch of those drones, so he still has a massive worker advantage.
He might have an advantage in workers right now, but we've got lings coming this time. Now, actually, eOnzErG is going to try and sneak these 4 lings in. And even though it's only 4, it doesn't matter because we just have pure spore and drone. And there's no support. There's no lings to actually take out these lings.
I think this is just going to be it. It's going to be drones versus lings and mutas versus all of that stuff. The spore is just the last line of defense, and trutaCz cannot get... Wait, oh my god, the Scourge popped and popped. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't see it. I'm meanwhile looking at the natural and watching the spore die to just 2 lings. And if the nat goes down, it's going to be 2 base eOnzErG versus 1 base trutaCz. He doesn't even have a lot of gas. He can't build that many mutas.
Man. Yeah, 1 muta out right now. It's not going to defend the drones. It's not going to defend the natural. And 1 ling almost by itself is going to kill this spore colony. Ooh, eOnzErG, such a dominant position. Now almost up in the drone count too. Microing perfectly versus the Scourge. Eon's so good.
Yeah, these Scourge not going to get any damage done. And GG, eOnzErG is up 2-1 over our last BSL champion.
Oh, greatness. Just give me a moment. I need to just let this greatness like wash over my body like, I don't know, warm butter. Oh, it's just amazing. This watching these games feels like taking a bath in like warm pudding made of happiness. Like, it's just the greatest. And just to clarify, spore colonies do not lose 100 HP when they finish morphing. Thank you for that area door. I never check these tiny little things. I just assume that it all works the same way. Anyway, great series. I can't wait for more. Finally, I love that Eon is really like hammering home, look, I'm the Muta guy and I can win that way. And honestly, trutaCz seemed, I'm not sure if like the spores were maybe just a little bit out of place or if eOn's so vigilant he's just getting in there for damage, but that was very, very powerful.
Yeah, Sylphid, I don't like Sylphid for that evolution chamber style. You just have to build so many colonies. Like, he had 4 colonies and it didn't even cover some parts of his main and natural. I don't know, like, I do like the evolution chamber style on certain maps, like Power Bond, like we saw versus Jaeyoon, but Sylphid, I don't know about that choice. So I hope that we see more aggressive play from trutaCz, like we just saw on, I guess, Gladiator, and even Oxide was aggressive with no evolution or no spore colonies. And I guess this could be a map where you could go for spores. Maybe not. This is a very open natural again, so I hope we don't see that spore colony style.
Sorry, I just learned a new word in chat. I want to see not only that style, but I also just want to see maybe go back to game number 1, 12 hatch. Like, let's just build up the biggest boxing gloves and punch each other with them. Like, I don't know. No matter what happens, it's almost impossible to get a bad game out of this series. The players are just too good. So the next set is going to be on Bloody Ridge. So perhaps aptly named for this. It doesn't get much better than this one. And I know that I was watching eOn stream the other day and kind of asked him, like, what do you feel about this finals? He says it's going to be hard, but he does have a lot to prove because last season he actually got eliminated in the round of 16, which is way earlier than a lot of people expected. And then at Corrupted Cup, kind of the same thing happened. He was eliminated pretty early on. And so I think a lot of frustration is built up in eOnzErG, and this is really where he proves to all of his fans, everybody watching, this is his time. So let's get into it. Game number next in this series. I can't keep track. The games are so good. It's game number 4 on Bloody Ridge. Let's do it. All right, in the upper right-hand corner of the map, Neo Bloody Ridge. This is our Belgian Zerg player, eOn.
And in the bottom left, got the red Zerg. It is trutaCz. So
But
2-player map, huh?
Just let me say, if you turn the colors back to the regular colors, trutaCz has the power of pink on his side.
He does. So it's probably going to be an even series after this game because eOnzErG, he went back to green, man. That's not the color.
Nope. Sorry.
Yeah,
anyway, continue with what you were saying.
So the evolution chamber style, I think it's an interesting style, but I want to point out last game how many mutas eOnzErG had. He had like 10 mutas before the Spire was done for trutaCz. And if you looked at the gas back then, it was like 600 for trutaCz. So even though he had the Nat that whole time and really hadn't taken a lot of damage, he still couldn't match the muta count for eOnzErG. So that's another thing with evolution chamber style. Even though you have more larva, more econ, if you can't ever catch up in the muta count, you're still not going to win. So trutaCz definitely got to balance his gas a little bit better if he's going to go for that. So far, looks like we're not going to have that because we have instant gas for him, over gas, or trutaCz or eOnzErG's going for that. What is trutaCz going to go for? It looks like we may actually have a 12 hatch.
I hope so. I mean, obviously, I hope they both do it because if not, it can get a little bit one-sided. Waiting for it.
It's 12 pool.
Both sides, yeah. I mean, still 12 pool better than 9 pool. It's all about how late can you build it. I guess that gives trutaCz a slight advantage.
Yeah, slight advantage in terms of mineral econ for trutaCz right now. But again, eOnzErG is going to have gas advantage. It's already up and running, and eOnzErG or trutaCz sending out a drone to the natural, so he's going to be taking this fast hatchery. And again, we're just going to have to wait and see, is eOnzErG going to get fast speed or is he going to get fast lair? So far in the series, we've seen fast lair.
Yeah, I think that after game 1, with sort of the testing the waters with both players going for 12 hatches, eOn is like turning on their pressure. And game 2, that was really kind of cool mind game from trutaCz to go with that in-base hatchery, get more across the map faster, and use that tiny window to take eOnzErG down. That was awesome. I love that. And I think that trutaCz, like if you got your anti-9 pool builds, now's the time, right?
Yeah, 12 pool is going to be a good counter to the 9 pool, but we do have speed coming from eOnzErG. There is matching speed for trutaCz. Everything is lining up to be what we just saw basically from trutaCz, more evolution chamber style, still no lair for him. He's even taken a drone off of gas to get a little bit better mineral econ. Now, one thing to note is these lings are hidden at the top left of eOnzErG's base. He's not shown them, so if trutaCz is getting overly confident with something like 8 lings, 10 lings, and he thinks it's only like 6 to 8 from eOnzErG, all of a sudden it's going to be a big swell of lings. He is going to get surrounded because eOnzErG has the ling advantage, or trutaCz may go into drone mode and he may just lose his natural because he didn't respect how many lings eOnzErG actually built. Look at this. Overlord's going to the main. He's going to sneak around right when it gets out of vision.
Oh my God, Eon. Don't do it. Come on. He is. He sees the Overlord, knows it doesn't have vision of the lings. Now it's starting to turn around a little bit, but he's going to get all these lings out. Now if he runs into these lings in the middle of the map, that's going to be actually crazy. He gets a better concave, and he's actually going to loop around the side immediately. trutaCz has to head for the hills.
He's cut off half the lings, and now he has initiative onto the Nat, but trutaCz did sneak across 3 lings, and it's going to be a micro battle on both sides. Who can control better? Definitely cannot lose drones.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on it. Oh, one drone getting dangerously low at 1 HP. It escapes. Ling's being killed off on the other side, and for trutaCz, he defends perfectly.
Yeah, and trutaCz has so many lings. Look how many lings he has. He's going to go for the drone rush again. He's sending it out. This is it. I don't think eOnzErG can hold it. We talked about it last week. Even if he can't kill the larva, he can just focus down the lair. Let's see if he actually can. This is so many lings.
Yeah, drone rush. I love it. He's hiding the drone behind as well. So, although I think it actually was scouted by the Overlord coming in. But you're right. He has an incredible number of lings. But he has to bust through this narrow opening. And the concave, Eon had a concave set up, but he moved his lings and actually lost it there for a second. And now he has no way to block the entrance. It's more versus less. trutaCz's lings break through. And where's that drone? Bring it in. Yeah, it's coming in with the second round. And even just these lings might be enough to do it, honestly.
Yeah, and look how so razor thin this timing is. Mutas aren't going to pop out in time. Colony goes down. And now we got so many lings on top of the drones. No way the Mutas can hold it.
I mean, this colony is, I guess, probably... actually, can you even cancel that? The Mutas have to focus the lings. They're getting in. They're killing so many drones. Eon only has 4 drones left.
He's building a spore. He's not even building a sunken. He's just going to make sure that he can take down all these drones, and that's just it.
Damn, trutaCz. Eon out of that game faster than, I don't know. What's something that's really fast, Nyoken? A race car. There you go. Ugh, worst analogy. Yeah, oh my God, that was so...
I actually thought eOnzErG was going to hold because of that concave he had. All it had to do, like the Mutas were so close to finishing. Like if he could have held it even like 5 more seconds, he maybe, I mean, that was a lot of length, but you can see how razor thin these timings are. Like if trutaCz hesitated at all of a sudden we have mass lings versus somebody that has 3-4 Mutas out with the sunken. And trutaCz would have been in big time trouble.
Yeah, so many different ways that trutaCz also, just could have been in so much trouble. But man, that counterattack with the ling or with the drone coming through, just like so good. I'm gonna cast the rest of this game laying on my back on my floor. I can't handle all of this. This is so good. I'm so excited for this. This is incredible. And I mean, we actually could just go all the way to best of 7. It is a best of 7. I know the overlay might say best of 5, but we're working with what we got here. If you guys want to volunteer specifically right now, immediately make a best of 7 overlay, go for it. But in the meantime, just keep in mind, best of 7, and we're just about as even as we could possibly be. I can't get enough of this because finally, trutaCz is saying, look, I don't just have one way to deal with your 9 pool. I got multiple ways. You think you're just going to go Mutas every game? I don't think so.
Yeah, so now I'm kind of curious because eOnzErG was out of there. No GG, we're just out of there. And now you got to start thinking like, has my mental state been affected? Because, I've seen sunken pushes before. I've never seen a Spore push. Never, ever. So now you got to start thinking, is eOnzErG mentally affected by this? Are we just going to see him say like, oh, you can mass link, I can mass link? And now you got to make sure that we don't tilt off. I hope eOnzErG doesn't tilt off, because if you give trutaCz an advantage going to match point, I think trutaCz would seal the deal at this point. But you never know. eOnzErG, very strong player, generally keeps his mental state alive. Oh, I'm ready to see what the next game has got in store for us.
Let's do it. Game number 5 in this best of 7 coming up on Ground Zero. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 5 of the BSL7 Grand Finals. In the upper left-hand corner of the map, Ground Zero, tied at 2-2 in the series, is our Polish Zerg player, trutaCz.
And in the top right, he's now repping the yellow. He doesn't know the power of the pink. It is eOnzErG. Yeah, man, like I like how we're seeing different styles from both of these players. We saw Masslings 2 games in a row from trutaCz. eOnzErG has been consistently the guy that wants to play the mass muta style, but he's done different variations of it. We've seen overgas, we've seen 9 pool, we've seen 12 hatch. I think he should continue to go for that style, but maybe now's the time to mix it up a little bit. But I don't know. Let's see. He's got Overlord coming out, so far we don't have 9 pool or anything aggressive. This could be 12 hatch, and both players are scouting in the wrong direction. And what is trutaCz going to go for? We just saw him. He's gone for the more control-based style twice in a row with the 12 pool and 11 pool before that. And this time he is going for overgas himself.
Yeah. I mean, this is basically a best of 3 at this point, right? Or is it still best of 5?
Yeah,
no,
still best
of 3. Yeah. Because it's tied 2-2. I mean, this is crazy. The difference also for this is, I think, $150. Yeah, it's $400 for first place, and then $250 for second, I believe. So a lot on the line. Catching the build orders, let's see, almost identical on both sides.
Yeah, exact same build from both sides. So now we've got mirrored builds. Now it's all about who can make the better decisions, who's got better intel, who can draw units out of position. In the first game on Oxide, it was eOnzErG that got the better of trutaCz with the mirrored builds. Now, something to note here is eOnzErG is going directly to the main with his second Overlord. So he's actually going to find trutaCz first, I imagine. Unless this Overlord deviates its path, he is going to have a slight vision advantage, slight better understanding of what trutaCz went for. And somehow trutaCz managed to sneak in a drone. Look, it's 12-11 despite having the exact same build.
Ooh, so dirty. Man, I don't even know how Zerg players do this. Like, it's one of the craziest things to me to see, like, the subtle science of just sneaking in an extra drone or an extra pair of wings, or building your gas just slightly faster, and you know how that's going to pay off 3-4 minutes into the future. It's kind of black magic for how you want to get the your early advantage. Now trutaCz up 2 drones, by the way.
And there's other implications of this. Look at the gas mining for eOnzErG. He's got 2 on gas. What does trutaCz have? He has 3 on gas. He's building a second hatchery. Like, everything is in favor of him right now, except for the lane count. If eOnzErG knew this, he's insta across the map. He's got speed coming in pretty soon, but he doesn't know. Look how greedy trutaCz is. He's built another drone. He's got to be so careful, because as soon as eOnzErG sees this, he's going to know he's been duped, and he's going to need to make something happen. But I don't know if it's going to be too late at this point.
No, this is crazy. It's literally 4 lings versus 12. Like, this is insane. But he is going for it, and he's skipping the vision of the Overlords. Actually, I think he just barely. Yeah, okay. So trutaCz is going to see this immediately, and you can't make a wall at the top of the ramp with just 4 lings. So he's going to pull the rest down. Only 7.
Yeah, and eOnzErG with the wrong direction, and every second matters, because look how long it took trutaCz to set up this concave. If there was even a tiny gap, eOnzErG was move commanding through there. So razor thin timing again. How well can trutaCz trade though? It's 6 versus 12. I think eOnzErG is going to bust through.
Yeah, I think eOnz actually got this, but it's not an incredibly overwhelming difference. He does have 2 more lings about to pop here, but he snipes the drone immediately. He's going in, nice drill, sunken completes. He gets a second drone. There was a little bit of a drone advantage for trutaCz, but now he's down 1. Even though he takes out the lings, losing that drone advantage is huge.
Well, I like how eOnzErG, even though he didn't save 4 lings there, he did manage to save a couple of them, because trutaCz, he's got the larva advantage just now, but he did have to drone pull, which means that's a lot of lost minerals. But eOnzErG, there was the potential, if he had lost all those lings, that maybe trutaCz could have gone for a counterattack. But again, I'm seeing that trutaCz flat out just doesn't get speed in any of these games, and that's really costing him. He really had an opportunity to go for a potential counterattack, but now that's kind of out the window, and mutas are already coming up for eOnzErG. Because of the drone pull, actually we see Scourge coming out from trutaCz, and eOnzErG has been dealing with these Scourge so perfectly that might just be the game changer right now, the fact that eOnzErG has so many more mutas.
Let's check the Zergling fight in the middle. It actually looks like trutaCz is just barely going to come out on top. Wow, okay, so he wins. He's only got 3 extras, but what's crippling about this game is the extra hatchery that trutaCz has.
Yeah, and this Overlord is going to get found, but this is the thing with ZVZ. You're out of position. I know you're out of position. What does trutaCz do? Instantly sends even 3 lings into the main, but they don't have speed, so the drone should survive. But does he notice?
Yeah, okay, he does notice. Nice Scourge. He gets 1 free muta. And did he actually save the other Scourge? No, he only got 1 muta with that. But still, drone kills are drone kills, and now trutaCz is back up to 2 drone advantage.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised that eOnzErG put a hatchery in his natural. With knowing that he's going to have the muta advantage, you would think that maybe he would put it at the nat as opposed to his main, but he decides to go for the main, and his econ is shot. Now, we have 4 drones. That's it, mining minerals. So really, eOnzErG's got to get something done, because trutaCz, despite only having 6 on minerals, that's a lot better econ for him, and trutaCz is slowly building up his muta count. Remember, he was mining 3 on gas the entirety of the game. It was eOnzErG that only had 2 on gas, so it's definitely a clock for eOnzErG.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you've got your Rock Lee weights on, Eon, now's the time to take them off. Like, you got to bring it all right now, because you took terrible, terrible damage, and your opponent has an extra hatchery on you. So, all I'm trying to say is, this game, if it goes any longer before it equalizes, it's just going to keep getting better and better for TT.
Yeah, both players have 200 gas, while eOnzErG just spends 100 gas there, but trutaCz is supply blocked. So there is, if he does go for an attack right now, this is kind of the best time for trutaCz or for eOnzErG to fight right here. He has how many mutas? I see 6 for trutaCz, a couple Scourge. There's also 6 for eOnzErG, so the armies are basically even 7 now for trutaCz. Oh, picks off a Scourge in the center of the map. Every Scourge matters.
Ooh, this is so crazy. I love how narrowly defined this game is going to be. So let's see. Trying to keep a count on the mutas. See more and more being added in. It's 7 mutas and 3 Scourge. 7 mutas and 5 Scourge for Eon, and then trutaCz on the other side of the map is keeping everything very, very close to his chest here with almost exactly the same thing. I think it's 7 mutas and 2. Now it's 9 mutas and 2 Scourge.
Well, here we go. It looks like we're going to have an engagement. Pretty much even armies right now. Last time it was trutaCz that came out on top.
Oh, bigger Scourge connections here for Eon. trutaCz not microing away from them quite as quickly, and still more Scourge left. They still continue to connect on both sides. Now spawning reinforcements, better for trutaCz, and it looks like he is going to get the better connections. He's taking out all of Eon's mutas, and he is instantly leaving the game. 3-2 for trutaCz in Game 5.
Yeah, and that was probably eOnzErG's best opportunity, because the armies were very even. But again, the Scourge connections we've been seeing either are really deadly, like completely change the tides of the fight, or just one side or both players end up just picking them off very easily. This time, not able to control his mutas that well, and trutaCz actually going to go up in the series 3-2, and he's on the brink of being back-to-back champion.
Yeah, 1 game away in this best of 7. This is it doesn't get much closer than this. He can touch it, he can taste it, but it's not his yet. And Eon, man, I mean, I say it all the time. ZVZ is, very knife fight on rollerblades. It's very volatile. but no one wants to go up against that volatility when they're down a game. You know, this is where you really have to, like, you've got that secret build, or if you just got to pick one game to bring out your A+ Muta Micro, this is it.
It's so true. And the funny thing for me is, what's the game? If you're gonna, potentially we're gonna crown a winner in this game. And what map is it, Rapid? You know what map it is. It's none other than Powerbomb.
That's right. This is the only map we allow players to play in BSL. We had when Zero initially was like, "Hey guys, what do you think about this season of BSL?" I checked it, and it was just like best of fives with only the map Powerbomb played for everyone. I was like, Zero, you gotta add other maps. He's like, oh, fine, okay. But you know, we do have other maps. We just don't play them quite as often. Powerbomb is a great game, and maybe that is a little bit of a cosmic hint that this is where the game ends. I hope not, man. I hope we go all the way to 7 games because they're just so choice. So let's get into it. Without further ado, it's game number 6 in our best of 7. Match point for trutaCz versus eOnzErG. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 6 of the BSL Season 7 Grand Finals. In the upper right-hand corner of the map Powerbomb, from Belgium, this is eOnzErG.
And in the bottom middle, he's one game away from taking it all. It is trutaCz. And again, I'm worried, Rapid. Yellow eOnzErG versus pink trutaCz. He's so deadly with this color. And we've seen on this map consistently eOnzErG's the one that's been aggressive. I don't think we've ever seen him be the one that goes for Evolution Chamber on this map specifically. I'm trying to think back to all the ZVZs on this map. Babo played Evolution Chamber style. We saw trutaCz play Evolution Chamber style versus Jaeyoon. Tai2 played Evolution Chamber style. So we may again see eOnzErG try and make magic happen with his Lings and Mutas. He had success with it on Sylphid. And will trutaCz go for the Evolution Chamber style? So far, he hasn't really had much success with it.
Well, I would say one of the defining characteristics of Powerbomb is that you don't have like depleted gases anywhere. You just actually, I guess the fourth bases have depleted gases at the 9 and 3, 9 and 3. But the big point is the mineral patches are plenteous in the mains. I think you got 9 there, and even the natural has well, I guess almost exactly the same. Anyway, but the idea is if you want to go for a quick gas build, then you'll have plenty of time to get tons of drones on one base.
Yeah, and Powerbomb, I think, is the only map in the map pool that has the 10 patches. So builds like the Evolution Chamber style are very powerful because you're going to have more drones. You're always going to have better saturation. There's times where the aggressive player just flat out doesn't even have 10 drones to mine the 10 patches. Like if we think back last game, trutaCz had 9 drones and eOnzErG had 7. So he wouldn't even be mining Powerbomb efficiently if he goes for an aggressive build. This time, we actually see it's eOnzErG is going to go for the 12 hatch. trutaCz is the one that's going to be aggressive.
Yeah, man, this is really interesting because, I would say as long as you defend against 9 pool, you're probably going to be okay. And all you need is like, a 12 pool. It's nothing crazy or overgas, something along those lines. But I love it. I really enjoy this because it shows that trutaCz is just, and that's the same thing I guess you could say about both players. Like they know everything. It's not like they're just really good on a few builds. They've got it all. They can do anything. That makes it really hard to predict.
Yeah, and sorry, it was not 12 hatch. I didn't realize the pool went down. We've got basically the same builds from both these players. Hatchery timing exact same, lair exact same. But is any player going to be the one that decides they want to make the mass link? So far, we've seen trutaCz is the one to skip speed, always go for a more macro-oriented style. We don't see speed coming in from eOnzErG either. So it looks like eOnzErG is content to just go with the macro point of view. And really, we're just waiting to see what's the follow-up. Is either player going to go Evolution Chamber, Mass Link? So far, it doesn't look like it.
Well, I will say the big advantage for trutaCz is vision. He can just see stuff. Sick. And, sometimes ZVZ, is if you don't scout, can just feel like flipping a coin. but when you have vision, it's like you can see which side of the coin is which. So obviously you're going to do okay in that situation. Ooh, I love the Zergling getting in from Eon. Tries to take out that drone at the front, but won't actually matter because it's going to be turned into a sunken. Layers just popping on both sides.
Well, he comes in, gets a glimpse at the main. Overlord sitting over the natural, sees that this is a sunken colony, and he knows that, I guess, trutaCz is just droning. And in response, eOnzErG is going to match the drone. He's not going to mass ling it. Spire has started for both of the players, basically exact same timing. eOnzErG skipped a sunken colony. So for right now, he's going to have, well, I would assume he would have better econ, but I look at the drone count. I just don't know how it happens. trutaCz always either even in drones or up. Right now, he finally is down 14 to 13, but I'm pretty sure he's going to even that up pretty soon.
Yeah, and I think there was a drone difference on gas for a second, but that's evened up here pretty quickly. And I want to see if they're going to go for something like second gas or let's see, where's the second gas? Okay, Eon just got his second gas, and I'm waiting for the timing for trutaCz because it's going to have to be later thanks to that sunken.
Yep, so eOnzErG is definitely the one with more drones at this point. It's 15 to 13. Looks like trutaCz is banking some resources so he can get out as many mutas as possible because he's really not building any more drones. He's built a lot of lings. He's got what looks like 20 lings. How many lings does eOnzErG have? He actually has only 11. And where is the Overlord for trutaCz? It did turn around because it doesn't want to get sniped by any mutas, but this is a lot of lings. This might just be it, Rapid. And eOnzErG is going to intercept him on the middle of the map. You don't want that.
Yeah, but look at where trutaCz's lings are going. He runs 4 in for free, but that does allow trutaCz to get around the outside. He's going to get into the natural. He's going to actually reverse concave eOnzErG and now cut him off from his own base, getting in on those precious, precious gas drones, and actually might be even able to get up into the main. Instead, he's going to actually choose to take the fight. He's crushing the ling count from Eon, but mutas are out, which puts these lings on a timer, but so many of them getting into the main. Let's see how many drone kills he can get. He gets 1. He's going to get 2. He's going to get 3. He's going to get 4. Oh my God, this is so crazy. In the end, the ling count is, or the lings are taken care of, but trutaCz is up 2 workers. Yeah,
and trutaCz killed so many drones there, and also it's forced drones off the line. And look, we were talking about how eOnzErG had 2 on gas this whole time. Now he's put down 3. He had 4 on there for just a second. But trutaCz is able to build up his muta count during that, and he now has 5 versus 5. He's also hidden a few lings across the map, but they do get found. Perfect play from eOnzErG so far. You see him instantly turn around to make sure there's no potential backstab. But now it's eOnzErG with a lot of lings, and trutaCz all of a sudden is in a dangerous position. If we have a muta battle in the main, potentially lings run in, kill the sunken. If we have a battle at the natural, lings all of a sudden just run past the sunken and could potentially kill the entire drone line of trutaCz. But here we go. eOnzErG, he's got how many mutas? 6 versus 8.
I don't even have to do the math on that one. I'm so good at it. So let's see what's going to happen. trutaCz, he might have a small, tiny little advantage here. There's a pair of Scourge for Eon, so maybe those can help equalize it. And I think Eon realizes, wait a second, let's pull back and make sure that we win this instead of taking a bad fight and losing the entire series right here.
Yeah, and now trutaCz has a sizable drone difference. It's 15 to 11. eOnzErG definitely has to make something happen with these lings and mutas, but flat out, trutaCz has more mutas at this point. He doesn't have as many Scourge, I don't think, or he does have equal amounts of Scourge, but once these mutas come out, trutaCz is, that's so many Scourge that just popped out.
Now, the mutas and Scourge are going to hit, but what's the special sauce is Eon's ling counterattack. He's going to run straight into the main, and actually at the same time, trutaCz is pulling back?
Yeah, trutaCz is pulling back to defend his main, but eOnzErG misclicked his mutas. I think they went way out of position, and now you would have thought that he could potentially Scourge connections at the natural, take down a couple mutas.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so close. This is so clutch. So Eon's in a lot of trouble right now. He not only didn't capitalize on the weak spot when he ran all those lings in, he then took Scourge hits, and now who's even has the bigger Scourge count? Let's see. It's a full control group of Scourge. 12 Scourge here for Eon. He's actually even made more and more huge flights of Scourge on even more mutas. So trutaCz went for mutas. eOn's going for Scourge. Let's see how good the connections are.
Meanwhile, trutaCz with a 2-lane counterattack into the Nat didn't kill any drones, I don't think, but it weakened several of them. It also has drawn the mutas out of position, and it forced lost mining time. And now eOnzErG, because of how he does take 4 drones off of the gas. He does put 1 onto the mineral line. I was worried that we were gonna mine the gas inefficiently, but trutaCz, he has such good econ. He has so many Scourge himself. He's got 11 mutas versus how many mutas for eOnzErG? It's only 9, and I don't think that, well, eOnzErG has way more Scourge. I think maybe like 3 or 4 extra Scourge, but he needs to have all these connect, because right now trutaCz is in a considerable advantage, especially since he's got Lings coming out.
Yeah, no, trutaCz is actually in a really great spot, and for eOn, he's gonna have to find some way to leverage that, either catching the mutas, cloning the Scourge better. Let's see, he's actually gonna Scourge on Scourge. Say that 5 times fast. But another couple of Lings getting now into the main. Oh, perfect catch here by eOn. He's gonna, no, he actually misses one. It survives with like 10 HP, and it will, oh my God, it's gonna just barely miss 3 HP on killing that drone. But now the Lings getting into the natural as the mutas crush the main.
Yeah, this is perfect play. He sends Lings to the natural, draw the mutas there. There's no Lings to defend. Meanwhile, mutas are trying to, or Scourge are trying to get connections on the eOnzErG's mutas. They find 2. 2 Lings are into the main. Also, these drones are going to go down, and trutaCz is just picking eOnzErG apart.
He really is. Totally immaculate control there. Perfect splitting. Puts the 2 Lings in the mineral line, gets a drone, and now he's up 3 drones, which is still, might sound minor. It's actually major. It's just going to mean more stuff, and trutaCz has got more of it.
Well, another difference is trutaCz has started to upgrade weapon on his mutalist, so the longer the game goes, the better his fights are going to be. And now it's 9 mutas versus what looks like about 13 for trutaCz, but there's so many Scourge from eOnzErG. There's still a lot of Scourge for trutaCz, though, but if he can get good connections with Scourge, he should be able to win the fight. Meanwhile, Ling counterattack on the natural again.
Oh, barely misses killing a drone there. There's some of these drones are on 1 Zergling hit away, so just if something goes wrong, it's going to go way wrong. But hey, picking off an Overlord's nice. eOn now supply blocked, so he's going to have to take a break from building mutas and hit an Overlord timing, which is just not what he needs right now.
Yeah, and eOnzErG probably feeling the pressure now. Being supply blocked, he wants to make something happen. He's out in the center of the map. He has about 25 Scourge. Here we go. There's isolated Scourge on show that can find more connections onto the mutas of eOnzErG.
Oh my God, eOn has 5 mutas left, guys. Okay, he's maybe adding on a couple more, but now you just run and hide, try to counterattack with Lings, because there's so many Scourge. If you can just hang on, then you got this. But look at the Scourge. Are they going to connect? It looks like the micro's pretty good, but still some of the connections happening. But oh no, tragedy strikes, and eOn's got to head for the hills because he just doesn't have enough.
Yeah, he's got almost a control group left
Oh,
of mutalist.
no.
Meanwhile, the Lings are just constantly in the face of eOnzErG. They've breached the natural, breached the main, and this is just going to be trutaCz taking it any moment now. eOn just doesn't have any econ left.
Oh, the Zergling counterattack when it's mutas and Scourge and Bears, oh my, is sometimes like you just can't pay attention to everything. The Lings get in, they decimate eOn's Zergling or drone line, and now he has half as many workers. The game is kind of all but over.
Yeah, and now eOnzErG, like, what can he do? He can only build Scourge. He can't even afford to build mutas. And we've seen how well trutaCz is just picking apart this mass Scourge style. Like, every time eOnzErG comes in, he only lands only a couple Scourge and loses like so many. And meanwhile, trutaCz has had connections every single time with his own Scourge. It's just fantastic. Look at this. Well, that was actually pretty good for eOnzErG. He got 3 mutas and damaged a couple others.
Yeah, I mean, look, you need everything possible to stay in this game, but the muta count's just overwhelming for trutaCz. So even if he does land some helpful Scourge, it's just not going to be enough. I mean, I think eOn is actually, no, he's still down 1 muta, and he's also down Scourge. So maybe if he micros perfectly, I don't know, but he's getting all of his Scourge picked off. trutaCz is microing perfectly. He's going to run into the drone line and make this even worse. And now finally, we have the final battle of BSL Season 7. trutaCz getting everything on top of eOnzErG, and that is going to do it. trutaCz will take game number 6 and a 4-2 victory over eOnzErG to claim back-to-back BSL championships for the 2nd time in the tournament's history.
Yeah, and that was just impressive play from trutaCz. Like, I was watching the muta battle the whole time, and I still missed the links. It's just randomly I clicked the net and I was like, oh, there's links there. So like the multitasking was crazy, and it's so hard to defend so many positions when your econ is worse than the other players. But eOnzErG held on for a long time. There were moments I thought for sure he was in a good position, but trutaCz was just the better player today, and that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think you could take anything away from trutaCz. Eon, you could see in the games that he won, he was the better player in those games. And in truth, if you play a best of, 69, it's incredibly, incredibly close. Today, though, I think trutaCz really played his heart out. And not that he was stronger overall, but when it counted in those high-tension macro or micro situations, you can see little things like Zergling run-bys, like little tiny things like cloning Scourge out. Like, blows my mind. I cannot believe how good this series was. I was afraid, it's a ZVZ Grand Finals. It could be over in 25 minutes, but no. These guys are so good. Every single game was different. Every single game was just as close as possible. And I really do think we got the best possible finals here. So just can't say enough about how good this series was.
Yeah, it was really sick, and I was happy to see that we got two of my favorite Zergs going up against each other. You could tell like the micro's just insane. You can't replicate it. So it's a treat to have them play against each other. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna wait for we're going to an interview, right? I'm assuming with trutaCz.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna interview the winner and now champion of BSL Season 7. If we can get him in here. It looks like we're ready to go. So gonna go ahead and wait a second. I'll wait for Zero to say it's okay to start. Okay, all right. Welcome, trutaCz. Congratulations, you're the champion of BSL Season 7. How does it feel?
It feels good, I guess.
So congratulations. That must have been so stressful. The games looked so crazy. How did you approach going into this? Did you just did you think that you were were you really confident, or did you think it was going to be really close? What did you think was going to happen?
Well, as I said at the last interview, I feel really confident in the ZVZ, but I was trying to practice for this ZVZ, but for the whole week I wasn't able to find a single game on the Discord server. So I've been practicing in StarCraft 2 and just playing some random ladder games, but in the end I've managed only to play 5 ZVZs through the whole week. So yeah, but it's ZVZ, I'm playing ZVZ for 15 years, so it doesn't need so much to practice.
Well, eOnzErG, obviously you are a ZVZ god as well, and especially that game number 1 and 2, so back and forth. What was your thought going into this series?
Well, to be fair, it's a bit difficult to train for a ZVZ final against trutaCz because there is not really any player as good as him to practice with. So what I think is my preparation obviously was mostly trying to find some build that was good against his 9 pool and against his 12 pool. But he surprised me actually playing a lot of overgas, and it kind of messed my plan. But yeah, I think overall I'm happy with my performance. I really tried everything I could and just try to control that 9 pool, but he didn't really use 9 pool, so there is not really anything to do about it.
Yeah. So in the games you won, what do you think it was your big realization? Because game 1, obviously that was pretty, you both had 12 hatch starts.
Yeah.
Well, Oxide is a really big map, so going 9 pool is not the best choice. So if you think, if I think that eOnzErG is not gonna go for 9 pool, and he thinks the same, so the best options to choose is obvious 12 hatch. So I guess that's why we both went for 12 hatch, because I think that the rest distance is really long and 9 pool sucks on this map. Maybe if you hide the first six links or hide 4 links, something, do some tricky play, but in general, I think it's 12 hatch map.
Yeah, to
Would
be
you
fair,
agree with that?
I wasn't really expecting anyone to play 9 for the first game because it's just the first game, and he obviously outside so long that I think outside or multiverse, I think neither of us will play 9 pool, and not sure about trutaCz, but
Yeah, I don't think it's a good choice on Multiverse to play 9 pool.
and yeah, I think I agree with him.
All right, do you have any questions, Nyoken?
Yes, so as eOnzErG mentioned, trutaCz, you ended up going overgas in a lot of the games, but in the series versus Jaeyoon, I think we saw like 12 pool almost every single time. So was it like a mind game? Was it eOnzErG specific, or is that just your favorite build? What was the reasoning behind going for the overgas?
Yeah, so first of all, my conditions, I said 1 week ago, I was not in the best conditions because of partying. And I wasn't really feeling comfortable in the micro battles, neither Lynx or Muta. Yeah, but in these games, it's like this what you guys see on the screen is like really different than what we as a players feel in the game, because there's a lot of mind games going on in the games, and as you might notice, like in every game, I did the different Overlord scouting because in the 99% you go to the natural of your opponent, and in every game I went like to his main. Yeah, so that was like the first of the mind game. There was one game on the when I went for the overgas, I think on the ground zero. So I was really tricky with my Overlord scouting, because when because on the ground zero you would scout like vertical every time, ZVZ. So I didn't notice his Overlord at the first scout path. So then I wanted to go with the mind games and be tricky. So I only went for the 2 Lynx, and I really scouted with the Overlords the way he wouldn't see them. So I went into the greedy play, but also like playing mind games with the Overlords. Yeah, but in general, in the longer series like this best of 7, playing mind games is really good, because I think I haven't played like a textbook ZVZ in a single series, and maybe that's why it made me to win the series.
Yeah, how do you feel about that, Eon? Did any of those like Overlord mind games catch you off guard?
No, not really. No, it didn't really matter to me. Like maybe in the game on Bloody Ridge, like he hold the, was it on Bloody Ridge? No, I don't remember. There was a game he hold the Overlord in the expansion, the natural, like it was a 9 pool or something like that. But no, it wasn't really tricky.
Wasn't it Oxide? Because I was holding the Overlord on the
outside. Yeah, sorry, outside. That's right, outside.
Yeah. That was also intentional.
Yeah, but to be honest, it didn't really trick me. But in the last game, actually, on Powerbound, like I really play a gamble. Like
GGS
I try to
guys.
play eco, because I know sometimes trutaCz likes to make drones in 12 pool, and don't know that many links. So I play a card that I like making drones, but he matched it with more links, and he was able to really hit a timing, and it was difficult from that.
Yeah, but also for me, like generally when I play with eOnzErG, he very often plays aggressive. Even though he like opened 2 games or 3 games with 9 pool, these games weren't really aggressive. Like for example on a Sylphid, he didn't even go for a Zergling speed. And I think there was another game also, and he went for a night.
I went in Link speed, but it was later.
Okay. Yeah, but what I mean is like in general, in 9 pool against 12 pool, for example, in the past you very often used to be very aggressive against me. So, for example, I wasn't playing speed in all my games because I wanted just to play defensive. It's like too much of a mind games.
It's like the game on what map it was? Gladiator? Yeah, Gladiator. It's like the game on Gladiator. You open overgas and I open 9 pool.
Yeah.
But because I scouted first and I knew your build, then I went straight to Lair. But I wasn't really sure about the number of mutations that I will have compared to your 2 hatcheries. And it kind of tricked me that when you attacked me, I thought like you had way more, so I kind of panicked. Then I watched the replay and we had like the same number. And I was like, oh, wow. So
Yeah.
it's something that interesting that you are able to learn things like this in a final games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be good for the future. Like, I don't think in ladder I would realize something like this, but then I'm playing in a final and I'm able to learn small details like this. I think it's very good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think anybody would disagree that you guys are, absolutely like the two best non-Korean Zerg players out there. So, I mean,
Well,
for us to watch.
Truta has won like 4 BSL at this point, so it's gonna be so hard to cash out him. Like, it's his tournament. But I think for everyone that would like to challenge his success in BSL is gonna be so hard. Like, Zero will need to host a BSL still 2030 or something like that.
Well, okay, so you can take out the first 2 BSLs because you wouldn't have been allowed to enter those because
No. But
right?
Poland is the hardest region, so it's not really something that like, yes,
right.
everyone else was not allowed, but at the same time, it's a huge competitive region, so it's really a good accomplishment,
Yeah.
But the truth is that right now BSL is maybe bigger than it was before. That's
Probably.
Well, also BSL season 10 is coming up, and so the placement for BSL season 7, 8, and 9 is what qualifies you for BSL season 10. Obviously, placing top 2 is going to be a lot of points, so probably as long as you guys keep it up, we'll be seeing you around here in season 10. But before we head out, I just want to say congratulations once again, trutaCz and eOn, for making it so far in the tournament this season. Do you guys have anything that you want to say to your fans, what you're looking forward to next season? I guess we'll start with eOnzErG.
Yeah, I just want to thank Zero because, obviously I'm not really happy about losing a final, but then you realize that you are having more seasons coming, and it will be like one more or something like that for me.
Yeah.
So it's like you can challenge yourself again, and it's very nice. It's not like you lose one tournament per year or something like that. So it's good. So thanks to Zero a lot, and thanks to everyone working. Thanks to you guys for always casting the games. It's really amazing. You're taking your time to do it, especially you Rapid, and you're in Korea.
It's only 4:30 a.m. here, so right?
So I guess since we were playing CBC, you are going to sleep early on, so thanks to us as well. But yeah, thanks to everyone always supporting BSL, and thanks to always watching my stream and supporting me all the time and cheering for me. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Do you have any final words to say, trutaCz?
Yeah, so starting with thanks to you guys for casting this, for you Rapid Nayak and Zero for hosting the BSLs and all the crew which is working behind the scene, because I believe there is a lot of guys who are working on the BSL production and organizing this stuff. Yeah, thanks for all the fans, all the people who support Brood War. As it comes to me, a bit of announcement for myself. I will be taking a break from StarCraft right now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna participate in the upcoming BSLs. I think the next one starts in next year, so I will still take in consideration of playing in the BSL. I might forfeit my spot, but I'm not sure yet. But I don't think it's like a retirement, because you always say that you retire from Brood War, but you always come back. So that's it.
Well, you are pre-qualified for season 10 BSL, which is a $3,000 prize pool. So you can come back whenever you want. We'll be waiting for you. And I think everybody's super excited to see what it looks like for eOnzErG to train super hard for a month and then come back for the next season of BSL. And hey, I just gotta say, if trutaCz isn't playing, now's your time to catch up. It's gonna be super exciting to see the next few seasons of BSL. Don't forget, we've got Corrupted Cup next year. STPL is still going on. There's a lot of amazing Brood War out there. So it's just a really exciting, awesome time to be alive. And it's all, of course, made possible by viewers like you. Big thanks to everybody who's tuned in and watched every day of BSL this season. It's been so cool to be able to tune in, and there's 300, 400, 500 viewers watching. It's just so crazy to me. I just can't say enough how much it means to be able to be a part of such a cool community. So big thanks to you guys for supporting. I know we've had a lot of donations, a lot of subscribers, a lot of Patreons join BSL this season. A lot of you guys talked about it on Twitter and Team Liquid and Reddit, and got out there and talked about how cool this is. We've got people posting plays and clipping cool moments, and it's just all kind of coming together. So big thanks to all of you guys for helping out, whether you follow on these streams or if you watch players like trutaCz and eOnzErG on their streams. Just keep supporting Brood War, and it'll keep being just as amazing as these finals for us. So I know it's been amazing for me to be a part of this season, and a huge thanks to the brains, one of the brains of the operation, nyoken, for making sure I don't make too many mistakes while I cast and being along for the ride. Do you have any final words, nyoken, before we close out this season?
Yeah, BSL is great. I always look forward to BSL. As eOnzErG said, I'm happy that it's going to be like every 3 months or so. It's not this one tournament that happens once a year. So I'm looking forward to BSL 8, BSL 9, BSL 10, and everybody should sign up for BSL. We got a lot of players that are very good. Jaeyoon made top 4. There's a lot of other players like Jaeyoon that can go very deep, and I always look forward to see them go up against the top, like the big 4, the big 5, like Dandy, Koget, eOnzErG, trutaCz, Boneth, and them, see if they can actually take them out. So definitely sign up, and I'm looking forward to BSL 8.
All right, so before we close out this season of BSL, I want to turn things over to Zero, the mastermind and head honcho organizer of BSL, for some final words about the upcoming seasons.
We can't hear you, Zero.
Zero broken.
Let me just see where it is. Zero broken ego. Okay, welcome everyone.
There we go.
So, okay guys, so now it's like the season 7 is done, and after season 7, like we have to do season 8, season 9 and season 10 until the end of 2020. So like we will start with season 8 like probably 1 week after the ladder season ends. So ladder season is now like, it should be resetted in like probably few days or maybe a week, something like that. Mm-hmm. And after that, we will start with a new ladder of BSL8. So it should be announced relatively early. And there was like one more thing I want to say about it, because we have like BSL7 Pro League, we all focusing on that, but it's also BSL7 Gosu League, where we have like 4 players who already qualified for BSL8. This is Mr. eOnzErG, Mr. Ziggy, Mr. Bendy, and Mr. Yeti. So they are already in the BSL8 round of 24, and of course in round of 16 we have Bonnie, trutaCz, eOnzErG, and Jaeyoon. So these are the players, and we also have, like, if someone didn't realize, I think Rapids was saying about it today, but we have BSL 10 points, and now trutaCz as a winner of BSL got 1,500 points, and now he is like the leader of the BSL point ranking. And through BSL 7 and 9, 8 and 9, you can gain points, and top 20 players from BSL 7, 8 and 9 points ranking will get to the BSL 10. So this is what I wanted to say. I wanted to sum it up, and wanted to say that there will be not such a big break like before announcing season 7, 8, 9 and 10, but it will be like 2, maximum like 3 weeks of a break before season 8. So there is no reason to stop playing, but everyone can now practice, because next new season will start soon. And we have one more good news. During the next season, the ladder stage, we will have probably 6 ladder tournaments. Like, it will be 3 ladder tournaments for the top players in the rankings, and it will be 3 tournaments for the players who are below, let's say, top 20 or top 16 in the ladder. So it will be tournaments for the best, and it will be tournaments for the players who are below the certain level of play. And I want to announce one more thing. There is like we have this Patreon of BSL, and in the Patreon of BSL we had $300 goal, and it was achieved. In the next Saturday, I will do the drunk stream with the viewers. So if everyone wants to see me getting drunk and answer stupid questions, it's a moment to be there next Saturday. And Karolcia is probably listening to that, and she's like, "What the fuck?" No, but really, this is what will happen. So next Saturday we will have drunk stream, and I have like 25 questions from the Patreons, and I will answer them on stream. So if someone wants to add some more questions, they can become Patreons and ask questions. Oh, that went well. Okay, so I don't know. I think I said everything. Oh, I wanted to say thank you to our BSL Patreons. I think maybe I will do it myself one time. Mr. Izo, who is supporting us with $200 a month. Mr. Striker, who is supporting us with $50 a month, and Mr. RG Sabat, Kamchak, Mountain Spurs Work, and Lingapump, who is supporting us with $20 a month. There are also Patreons who are supporting us with $5 and $10 donations. You will be able to see them in the ends credits. So yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I think it is it. I don't know if I forgot about anything. Okay, I will leave you. I will leave you with the professionalist. Oh, and of course I want to say thank you to Mr. Rapid, to Mr. Nayoken, to Mr. Hatchet, to Mr. Han, to Mr. Averti, Fujikura. Now we have 2 more admins of BSL, Mr. Agie and Mr. Kebes joined us to help with the season 8. So there is plenty of people who are helping us with creating BSL, and of course all the viewers who are watching, everyone who is commenting. So like, whenever we see someone is giving us feedback about BSL, it's much better. And now I'm giving you to the professionalist. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Zero. Big thanks to everybody. I'm just going to keep saying that until you guys all leave. No, it's truly an incredible season. Can't wait for next season. It's going to start before you know it. So bombasticstarleague.com is the place to go to check out ladder standings, tournament announcements. Probably going to be on Team Liquid too. So that's going to do it for BSL Season 7. But BSL 8 is not too far away. So thank you all so much for watching and supporting the Bombastic Star League here for Season 7. We'll see you back in just a little bit for Season 8.